You're listening to Reza Riffs with Keith Reza and Allan Lee, right here on LA Talk Radio.
Hey guys, welcome to the show. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes and Apple Podcasts at Reza Riffs, and like us on social media at Reza, R-E-Z-A, Riffs, R-I-F-T-S. Also, check out www.keithreza.com. Now, back to the show. Hey guys, welcome to the show. I'm Keith Reza with my trusty sidekick, Allan Lee.
As trusty as I could possibly be.
And right now, we're at our guest's home. Our guest you've seen on Billions and Mad Men. He was also in Rounders and The Informant. Allan Havey. Allan, thank you so much for doing that.
Guys, thanks for making this easy for me.
Yeah,
You're
this
welcome.
was
The
awesome.
only thing I have to do is count the silverware after you leave. But that's it.
Yeah.
Keith, man, right out of the chute, the energy, energy and the enthusiasm.
Well, no, because I like to get warmed up. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay, so by the end of the podcast, you're going to be
I'm
on
gonna
fire.
be on fire.
Right.
There you go.
But no, it's really hard because this is my first time actually meeting you, even though I've seen you perform several times. Because you're one of those guys who I deeply respect, but I always got the vibe I don't know if I should talk to him. You know?
Yeah, that's good. I'm putting the right energy out there.
Yeah.
I want respect and silence.
Yeah.
You know. But now that, listen, you're in my home, I offered you something to drink.
Yeah.
You're comfortable, you're sitting in an actual chair. Do you want to, is your back okay? Do you want to move over to that chair?
Oh no, my back's fine.
Okay,
My back's
all right.
fine. Yeah, but Allan took you up for the water. I mean, I'm not.
Yeah, that one's a real siphon.
I broke the bank.
A
Yeah.
leech.
Have you?
Glass of water. And it's filtered and pre-chilled.
Well, that's good.
Oh yeah.
It's good for you, it's not good for me.
Have you ever offered someone a drink water or coffee, and they'd be like, "Oh, I'll take scotch if you got it."
Yeah, no, not during the day.
Yeah.
I don't have those kind of people in my home. Even my friends. I had a buddy I've known for years. He goes, "Hey man, I got some bad news. I got to come and crash at your house tonight." I go, "I have worse news.
What?
You're gonna have to get a hotel." You know, I have a wife.
Yeah.
You know, I have a home.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you in 20 years. No, you're not coming by and crashing.
Yeah. For all you know, they could have changed from the nicest guy to the worst human in the world, right?
Yeah, but you know, he can call somebody else.
Yeah.
He's over 40, so.
Oh,
Well, they have these apps now where it's kind of like Uber for apartments, where you could stay at someone's house. You know what I mean? You pay $100. It's kind of creepy. You don't know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking
Oh,
about.
yeah.
It's creepy. I've done Airbnb.
That's what I'm talking about.
When
Yeah.
I've gone to London,
Yeah.
Those are nice.
you know, or New York a couple times.
Yeah.
And I've had good luck with them. But
Yeah.
I'm a responsible guy.
Yeah. You do
You
the
know.
research.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife likes to do that stuff for me.
Oh, you don't do it? You just trust her judgment?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one thing you get married. You got to hand over a certain amount of reins to the wife.
How long have you been married for?
It'll be 11 years this August, but I've known her since '84.
Oh, really?
So before you were born.
Oh, is this your
Yes, you
first
were-
marriage or
It's my only marriage.
My only
Keith,
marriage. Oh, okay.
I know we're in California. Don't insult me. Yeah, it's my first. My third's coming up in 28.
I'm glad you asked that question.
Well, no, because
My second marriage is going to be like a 23-year-old, and then I'm going to go to someone my own age in 2028. So.
Yeah.
Got it all planned out, Keith.
Hey, you gotta have. I am not married, so I don't know.
I couldn't have guessed that. You're not married.
No, the attire of
No,
a married man.
No. I mean, I'm.
Sweatshirt,
Yeah.
jeans with their...
No, yeah, you're dressed okay. I'm just,
No, I know.
I'm just
I know.
pulling your leg. An old expression.
Yeah, I know that expression, pulling the leg. But no, it's so funny that we're doing a podcast because actually, I was telling Allan this in the car. You had a show in the early 90s where you and a sidekick, you would interview one person and maybe there would be 5 people there. You kind of started the whole podcasting thing.
Well, thank you. I
Yeah.
don't know if it was a podcast, but it was a talk show on Comedy Central, which later became Comedy Central.
Yeah.
It was Comedy Channel. And I had a sidekick, Nick Bakay,
Yeah.
who's had a great career.
Yeah.
And he's a showrunner, executive producer on Mom.
Oh.
Doing really well. And but we had an audience of one.
Audience of one.
Just
yeah.
one stranger in there. We had our crew there and stuff. But so that's how that started. It was kind of relaxed like a podcast, but it's still. But at the time, Arsenio was out, Carson, Letterman, a bunch of other talk shows were out, so we wanted to go for a different feel.
Yeah.
So that's probably why the podcasting. But actually, I don't know if you remember Comedy World in 99, 2000.
Right.
That started, that was kind of the first internet radio podcast. And they tried to sell to radio stations, which was their mistake, I think.
Yeah.
So I've been at the forefront of Comedy Channel and kind of podcasts.
Yeah.
So I've been around during that period.
Yeah.
You know, so it's been kind of fun ride, because I got into stand-up in the early 80s in New York, which was the boomtown. That's when it really took off.
How many sets a night during the comedy bloom did you hit?
At the peak, like on the weekend, 6 to 8.
Wow.
Yeah. And bopping around New York. And now I can go to the Comedy Cellar in New York and do 4 or 5 and not leave the block.
Oh, yeah.
Or 6, you know.
Yeah.
But they've kind of whittled me down. A lot of young comedians coming up.
Yeah.
A lot of good young comedians out there.
In New York?
Everywhere.
Oh, okay.
I was in Berlin.
Yeah.
London. Here in L.A. I mean, there's so many good comedians, and I'm sure in any town USA where there's stand-up.
Yeah.
I'm sure in Austin, in Chicago, in Des Moines, you know. Just, it's an art form that people grew up with. I certainly grew up with it, but you coming up, like you said, you watched the old talk show.
Yeah.
More people now have respect for stand-up comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When I was a young comedian in the early 80s in New York, people would ask you what you do at a party or something. I'm a stand-up. And they'll look at you like, wow, isn't that hard? Like you were a trapeze artist or
Sure, circus.
something like that. Or if you were an actor, that was kind of expected. But to be a stand-up comedian back then was still a little freaky.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's not so much.
I've always been around stand-up, though, because, like, I used to watch the young comedian specials with my dad and stuff, and then when I saw... This is a funny, like, weird story, but Fred Stoller was on one of the young comedian specials, and, you know, like, he was just so awkward and weird, and I'm awkward and weird. I was like, oh my god, that's the funniest guy. I want to do that, you know?
Offstage Fred is like James Bond.
Yeah.
That's just knack. I'm kidding.
So,
no.
But you know what I mean?
Have you interviewed Fred?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're right. He's
Fred opened up for me when I filmed my first special.
He opened for you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. When did you do your special?
Well, my first one I did, 6 years ago?
It was at least.
Yeah, it was a half hour.
Who was it for?
I submitted it to Comedy Central. It didn't get picked up.
Oh,
but
sorry
I
to hear
mean,
that.
yeah, but I
But
also
it's out there. You sell it online.
yeah.
Okay.
But I also like when you did your first special. Were you like happy with it? Because like I'm not happy with my first one. You know what
Well,
I mean?
I saw your special. I wasn't happy with it either. I think most people were disappointed. No, I haven't seen your work. No, my first special was HBO half hour, and I worked it, and I was very happy with it.
Oh, okay.
And then I did one a couple years later, and it went well too.
Yeah.
You know? So I was pretty happy with it. Now, if I watch it again, I can say, oh, I shouldn't say that, or
Yeah.
could have done that better. You know, you know, I watch Turner Classic Movies a lot, and there's a director who's been around forever, William Wellman, back in the day. And they interviewed him, you know, shortly before he passed away. And when he watches his old movies, he goes, I'm just disappointed. Oh, I should have done this with the camera.
Sure.
I should have had Cagney say this, or, you know, I should have gotten a shot from the other angle.
Yeah.
So and I rarely do this. I never watch my old stuff. One time I ran across, I was packing, I was in a hotel room packing to go somewhere. I was just flipping around and my old special was on. So I watched it. This is like 12 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, oh, okay, I see the influence of Carson and my dad and certain other comedians. But it was good, you know, I'm happy with it. And they still run it, so I'm happy about that. Hang on a second.
All right.
The rug's up over here. And
Oh.
yeah.
Was that my fault?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
It was me.
I was like-
I'll let you know when it's your fault, Keith.
Okay,
I'm
excellent.
not shy.
Okay, because I don't like pissing people off because I don't
Well,
want them
it's
to hate
kind of
me.
late for that, but go ahead.
So tardy.
But no, you're very nice because, like I said, I've seen you perform several times, and then when I got a show, you know, I was like, all right, I think I've got enough guests to like finally talk to Mr. Allan Havey and ask him, and like you were very nice about it because I did it over Facebook with you.
Yeah.
So you know,
But you know, I had you vetted. I have some people in Washington.
Important.
You know,
Yeah.
I didn't have Alan vetted,
No,
so
no,
I'm
so
really.
I got through.
That's why my baseball bat's right there. You know, my wife moves the baseball bat.
It was a good place to put it.
Yeah, because if I'm coming down the hall and there's a prowler, I know where it is. I can reach out and grab it. But that's all I have.
I
No
have all
gun.
the silver I need.
Have you ever used the baseball bat?
Nope.
No.
Well, softball.
Yeah.
You know. No, never had to use it.
Oh.
Let me knock on wood.
Yeah. That's a beautiful bat, though. That looks
That's
like
nice.
it
It
could
looks
like
like some kind of a
cause
collectible.
some
No,
concussions.
it's an old school softball bat. It actually says softball on it.
Oh,
But I have a Hilrich and Bradsby somewhere around here.
yeah.
You know, that I keep.
Did you ever play baseball?
No.
No?
No. My dad managed a little league team, but by the time I got old enough to play, he didn't manage it anymore.
Oh,
And
really?
I was not a confident athlete at all
Really?
when I was young. No.
Oh, neither was I.
Academics, athleticism, not my bag.
Yeah.
So I got into stand up.
That's a
Oh,
good choice.
that's how I got into like. I mean, I've always loved comedy, but like I was terrible at sports because I'm fat and stuff. And like academically, I was so smart I didn't have any friends.
Is this going to be a self-esteem?
No, I'm
We're
just saying.
talking, you're asking me a question, then you tell me about you. I don't give a fuck about you. I don't care. You're coming to my house talking to me, and I gotta hear about your sad little life.
No, I was just gonna tell you. So then I started playing tetherball, which is
Yeah.
So-
Tetherball?
Yeah.
Okay,
we're-
Keith. Thanks for coming by. You pathetic human being.
Tetherball. I got it. Wow.
Yeah.
Did you get a tetherball scholarship to community college?
Do they even have
Nobody
that?
handles a pole like Reza.
That would be awesome, man. But who is like when you had your show? Who is the best person you ever interviewed, and was it hard interviewing people?
Well, there's no one best person, but I had Alan King on.
Oh, wow.
George Carlin.
Wow.
Tupac Shakur was on.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we can't find the interview. All these young guys, you got Tupac on, man. You got to get me that. I go, sorry. You know.
Wow. You have no idea where that interview
No,
is?
we looked through tapes and stuff like that. And I'm not one of those guys who
Really?
saves everything. you
Yeah.
know. I figured they would have it on file there, but HBO downtown. It was still kind of a new thing. It was an exciting time, 23rd Street. That's where we shot. A lot of people from that time have gone on to do great things.
Yeah.
Steve Higgins is now the producer of The Tonight Show and Saturday Night Live.
Wow.
Scott Carter has produced Real Time. He's been with Bill Maher ever since Politically Incorrect.
Yeah.
Nick Bakay, as I mentioned, is doing well. Sue Fellows, who was a producer on my show, went on to and is still producing shows. So it was a fun time. It was like early television.
Yeah.
We had a ball.
And when you were also in the running to replace Letterman.
Yeah.
So like, how was that?
Yeah, well, so are you, Keith. Neither one of us got it. How about that? I was in the running. That means I was on a list.
Yeah.
No, but because of the show, I was in the running, but went to Conan.
Yeah.
You know.
But that must have just been like an honor just to be in the because
No, it's not.
It wasn't
Once you
an
get
honor?
the job.
Oh.
Yes, of course it was. An
Yeah.
honor, yeah.
Oh, because you're on a short list of people to replace Letterman, and then I would just be happy to be on the list.
Well, see, that's where you and I differ.
Oh, okay.
I'm happy to get the job. No,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, well, it was an honor and still is.
Yeah.
So as long as I'm in the mix,
Yeah.
like I'm acting now,
Yeah.
and so I'm acting a lot more, and I've gotten close in the last year to 2 projects. I didn't get it, but I feel good that I'm in the mix and doing good auditions, and that's all you can hope for. That's why stand-up's great,
Yeah.
because you can get on stage and do it. You don't have to audition.
No, did you use stand-up to get into acting?
No, I mean, I actually was a theater major
Uh-huh.
at Miami-Dade Community College, North Campus in Miami, and then I went to Florida State to get my degree in theater.
Oh.
Then after that, I went to New York with the goal of getting on Broadway or becoming an actor.
Right.
And then I had a comedy partner in college, and we did some gigs in New York, but I saw comedians get up, didn't have to audition. Like I said, they would write, produce, basically direct your own thing.
Right.
And that looked really difficult and scary, but I envied them because they had all that freedom.
Mm-hmm.
So I lived right by the Improv in New York in Hell's Kitchen. And I would walk by the Improv. I knew I belonged in there, but I didn't go in.
Yeah.
Kind of like, Kevin Spacey walking by a gay bar
Right.
in the early days. He knew he belonged in there. He didn't go in,
Yeah.
So, and then I got into stand-up, and that fulfilled all the artistic desires, the ego, everything. It was very instantaneous. I mean, you and I can sit down and separately and write jokes and try them out tonight.
Right.
With acting, you can't do that.
Yeah. It has to be scripted with acting.
Or you can go in improv and maybe get the part, and a week later if you don't hear anything, you didn't get it.
Right.
That's
what I'm beginning to realize, because I don't want to turn this about me, but I went on for
you're doing a great job, man.
You're going to do it anyway.
I went on for an audition, and they haven't called me back, so I'm thinking I didn't get it.
Yeah, that's right. Here's the thing about auditions. You go in, you do your best job, you leave, you take the sides, you shred them, and you move on.
Right.
And if they want you, they will call you.
Oh, okay. That makes me feel
Put it on your
unwanted.
mind and move on.
Or if your manager calls or agent calls and you can get a little creative feedback, that's good too.
Yeah. I don't have any of that stuff though. But like when you went on auditions, like did you have the manager and agent, or was it just you getting?
Yeah, I had agent. Now I just have a manager get me acting stuff.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll hear, like, hey, they really liked you. They want to, they're considering you, and that's great.
Yeah.
Like you said.
Because I heard you say in an interview that when you
another podcast.
Yeah, when you were trying to get yourself booked in L.A., bookers would call the club. You would pick up and be like, you would name 3 comics, then you would name yourself.
That was in New York when I started.
Oh, okay.
When I was a fledgling comedian, I had a bartending job. I got fired from that. Then a waiter, and then I got fired from that.
Yeah.
So, Silver Friedman, God bless her, who was the gatekeeper and the owner at the Improv in New York at that time, said, "Why don't you come by and answer phones? You can make a little extra money." And I did that, and because I was around, she would give me more spots.
Right.
Wow, nice.
But guys would call up and say, "Hey, I'm booking a show out in Jersey. You have any good comedians?" I go, "Yeah." And I would say, Rod Darian or Don Herrera. And then I say, "Yeah, this new guy, Allan Havey's pretty good." "Oh, I never heard of him." "Yeah, he's pretty good." He goes, "Who's this?" I go, "I'm Al." Then, so he said, "Well, can you call this Havey guy, see if he can do this gig? Well, how much is it?" "Okay, hang on." I put it on hold. I go get myself a soda, look at my watch. "Yeah, he said he can do it." And, "Okay, have him be at the Improv at 6. I go, "You got it." He goes, "You sure he's going to be there?" "He'll be there." I just talked to him. So that's how I started booking kind of little satellite gigs.
Yeah.
In Jersey and Connecticut and Long Island.
That would be a great idea for a TV show, like a...
That's my life.
Yeah.
It's not an idea.
No.
Actually happened.
But like, it could be like based on an idea of Allan Havey. You know what I mean? Just like...
Well,
Who's going to produce it?
Alan!
It'll go in my book.
Yeah, that's what
now
I'm
you're
saying.
producing me. Gee, thanks, Steve. You sound like a fucking civilian. Hey, you ever think of getting on those sitcoms? Where they pay you $70,000 a week. You ever think of that? No, never have.
No, but I'm just saying, like that would be a great idea.
Well,
for you.
it's not an idea. It happened.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
part of how I hustled in this business.
I wish I was.
And I didn't plan it. It just dawned on me.
Yeah.
The guy called me. I go, "Oh, well, here's an opportunity." The door opened. It wasn't like, "Oh, good, I'm answering phones at the Improv. Now I can book myself." I happened to be there all alone, so nobody heard me.
Right. But did you ever get caught or no?
Eventually, a booker found out, but he liked it because I had moxie.
Yeah.
You ever hear that word?
Yeah.
"Yeah, that kid's got moxie." Sure.
It's a compliment.
And
right?
and I did a good job.
Yeah.
I didn't go up there and like fucking bomb.
Yeah.
I knew I had.
The
I
talent.
could do the talent. Talent's the last fucking thing. But
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Let
Back
me
in those days?
any day.
Oh.
Talent is the last thing.
Okay.
It's work, perseverance, luck, and talent.
Okay.
I worked hard, got into the club. I got lucky because the guy called, and then I was able to deliver with a little bit of talent. But the harder you work, the more you persevere, it gets you luck, and then your talent grows with experience.
That's awesome.
Well, that's just it's not, other people have that theory.
Yeah.
Talent is overrated, or if you ever read Outliers, it's basically people with 10,000 hours, that's where that came from.
Yeah.
And I subscribe to that way of thinking.
A lot of people think I have the theory of how to annoy yourself to the top.
Well, you've annoyed yourself into my home. but we're not at the top. Although this might seem like a palace to a single guy.
Yeah. In my mind, I think this is the top. I'm interviewing, having a good conversation with one of my heroes, and then Alan Lee drinking your water.
And supporting you, and you're talking about yourself.
Yeah.
Can't get any
That's
better.
all right.
You know,
Can't get any better.
do you want to know why I have a sidekick?
I'd like to know myself.
Yeah. Yeah, because Alan just... Can I get you more water, Alan?
No, I'm okay. I'm okay.
sure?
I'm good. I have a buzz already.
He gets the water and never comes
you're a
back.
fucking
Hey guys,
camel."
your hour's done. But no, I have it because I have a form of autism called Asperger's syndrome. So like it's very hard for me to talk to people.
I'm a
So
psychiatrist.
yeah, so I have my best friend with me. So
And now, how did you guys meet?
comedy.
Okay. You're a comedian too?
I tried to be.
Yeah.
And how long have you been at it, Alan?
Too long.
Well,
No, I've been at it on and on for, I like to say, 10 years. But
Okay.
that's not
Hey.
too long though.
Keith?
no, it's not, is it?
Yeah,
Thank you.
about 14 years.
Okay.
But I've only been good, honestly, for about 3.
Okay.
So, you know, I think, like, you know, when people say, oh, you've been doing it for 14 years, it's like, no, I struggled hard for 10 years at least, you know what I mean? Where I didn't know if
Open
I was
mics.
good.
I'm renowned in the open mic world. So
Yeah.
I tell my
Here in
mother.
L.A.?
Yes. I tell that to my mother when she screams at what am I doing?
You've been doing comedy for 30 plus years.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
this is-
being paid this year, it'll be as a professional, which I think, you know, I've been able to make a living at it 37 years.
Wow.
But at the beginning, it was, you know, eking out a living, hustling, which I'm still doing,
Yeah.
you know. But knock on wood, you know, things have worked out. I worked hard. And like I said, in the 80s, if you had 15, 20 minutes, that was okay, you could get work.
Yeah.
So I was able to earn while I learned.
Yeah.
That's a Michael Douglas. I think his father, Kirk Douglas, told him that: earn while you learn.
Yeah.
You know, it's like just because you get a acting job, like he was on the streets of San Francisco with Carl Malden.
Mhm.
He learned a lot from Carl Malden. You know, just because he got the job didn't mean he knew what he was doing in every aspect of acting.
Yeah.
And it's always a process. We're learning about stand-up. It's like yoga. They say you practice yoga or practice meditation. Stand-up, you're still practicing. You're working, but you're still learning. You're always learning. To this day, I'm learning.
Yeah, and that's actually very inspirational to hear because you're one of my heroes and you're a national headliner. You've been doing it for 30 plus, and the fact that you're still learning the art and stuff, like that's just incredible.
Yeah, it's. I would have been surprised if I was a young guy and you're always going to be learning. Like, what? You know, because I had in my mind, oh, once I get there, then I'm set.
Yeah.
That never happens.
Yeah. When during the bloom, who were the comics that you grew with, like you did shows with a lot?
Don Marrera, John Mendoza,
Oh, John Mendoza.
and
I love John
John
Mendoza.
Heyman, Lou DiMaggio, Charles Zucker.
God, it's the funniest thing. John Mendoza.
And then I saw a lot of guys come into it, like Jon Stewart, Chris Rock.
Yeah.
I saw Chappelle when he first came to New York when he was a teenager.
Yeah.
You know, so I really been around, like Carol Leifer. I just worked with Elaine Boozler, who started before me.
Yeah.
But I was in Israel a couple of years, so worked with her. Never really saw her work live. And she was, I mean, she's been at it longer than me. She's fantastic.
Speaking of Jon Stewart, he said that you had one of the best sets he's ever seen at the Cellar.
Oh, the New Year's Eve thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that
No, I
one-
think it was I walked into a headwind, as he put it.
Yeah.
Because the crowd was chaos, and after a couple minutes, I got him focused and stuff.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's like combat, you know, battle. Sometimes you got to go up there and fight. And
Yeah.
it was probably one of those situations where I kind of remember that night, but it was really nice of him to mention that. I'm glad I made an impression. I hope the kid makes it, you know.
Jon Stewart?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I was gonna say yeah, but
Thank God I was around to inspire him. Because he'd be lost without me.
But do you remember who you had to follow? Because the guy.
No, it was midnight. So it was
yeah.
the first set after midnight, which is the toughest set on New Year's Eve. Yeah.
Yeah, because everyone's like, "Happy New Year," right?
Exactly.
Yeah, excellent.
Keith, I don't know if you have Asperger's, but you picked up on that. I think you're cured, actually.
You're good. You're good.
I don't think
I'll
Alan needs to come around and mumble behind you
No,
anymore.
that's right.
It's like you're not part of.
Dad.
It's like you talk, Alan kind of mumbles, and it really works.
Well, here's the funny thing is, like, I've known this guy for 15 years, and just, like, 2 years ago, he comes up to me and he's like, hey, I think I have Asperger's, too.
Well,
was
I
like,
thought I might. After watching you, and I went through my life, I said, well, why not join the crowd? I
Yeah.
have Asperger's.
Well, that's
ADD.
very common,
We all have it.
especially
Yeah, but
in
I would have
comedians.
labeled myself. I mean, if you'd been diagnosed by a professional,
Yeah.
Well, that's different.
that's one thing. But if you sit there, hey, you know what? I think I'm bipolar. You know what? I think I just had a psychotic episode. No,
Yeah.
you just lost your keys and you're pissed off. Just calm down. Everybody wants to label themselves
I know.
with some kind of ailment.
I'm looking at your library. You have all these cool books, like The Agency and Hitchcock.
A 2-hour podcast on the books.
Yeah, well, I'm
This is a
64,
smart man.
so
Yeah.
no, I'm not smart. I just have a lot of books. I haven't read one of them. No, well, that's the thing about when you get older, you collect more books, you read more books, and I don't like to throw books out, although I did recently,
Mm-hmm.
Trying to make
and
this-
I'm going through my CDs. But I like an old school book.
Yeah.
And I was just like I said, I was in the UK, and I traveled from London to Cardiff and London to Birmingham by train, and to have a book on a train and look out the window, it's just so soothing.
And relaxing.
Exactly.
Yeah. Is that what soothing means?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You want to
excellent.
punctuate.
Okay.
You have
Yeah.
to punctuate a word
Yeah.
with a synonym or an antonym.
I got it.
How could you have Asperger's?
See,
Look at that vocabulary. I would hang out with Alan more. His vocabulary is very extensive. I haven't heard synonym and antonym since I was in 7th grade. So
But then you're also in one of the great movies, Rounders.
yeah,
Yeah. And there's a theory, I don't know if this is true, but there's a theory that movie was based on Norm Macdonald. Have you heard that?
no,
Oh, well.
no, and I know the writers.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how I got in it.
Oh, really?
Brian Koppelman and David Levine, who wrote Rounders, many films, Solitary Man, and are now the showrunners of Billions. Brian saw me at a club when he was 19,
Wow.
and he would come back to see me and sit up front. And so after the show, I said, hey, kid, I mean, I was 30, he was 19. I said, here's my phone number. Call me when you want to come see a show. Sit in the back. He was in college. I figured, save your money, and so we became friends. And then we ran into each other on the street,
Yeah.
and we ran into each other at Shea Stadium. So that's kind of the universe saying, maybe this guy, you and this guy need to be friends or get to know each other. And I did, and it's been a very valuable friendship.
Yeah.
More so, I mean, he got me working Rounders and other stuff. And after Mad Men, he didn't need an excuse to get me on Billions. Even though I had to audition like 3 or 4 times for different parts. He and David found a great part for me. And that's great. I mean, I love getting work, but those two guys, especially, well, Brian I'm closer to, have really helped me as friends.
Yeah.
Like through periods of my life. So he's become this young friend. It was kind of fun to hang out, and now he's become, in many ways, a mentor.
Yeah.
Because Brian is a really curious guy. Brian and David, they've known each other since they were 15, so they're just on sync with each other, and they're their own person. But I think Billions is terrific. It's good to be on a good show,
Yeah.
especially when your friends are enjoying that success.
Well, I loved Mad Men, too.
Yeah,
That
Mad Men. I
was
didn't know
awesome.
Matt Weiner.
Yeah.
I didn't meet him. Yeah, that was. Well, I'll tell you something now. Okay, Mad Men season 6. I
Mm.
made 2 appearances, and then the storyline went where they had to get rid of Draper from the agency.
Right.
So they had me come back and re-audition to get me the part. They wanted to make sure, Matt Weiner wanted to make sure that I could handle more than a page of dialogue.
Right.
So if I had blown that, it would have been fucking insane.
Yeah.
So I couldn't tell anybody, you signed a non-disclosure. So I couldn't tell anybody.
But you can
Okay.
tell people now, right?
Yeah.
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 Okay,
it's over.
excellent.
They can't erase me. They can't go like, hey, Havey, you spilled the beans. So
I don't want to get you in trouble.
But I knew I could get the part. I knew the part was perfect for me. But I was so nervous. I had trouble walking that morning. I walked up to, I drove to Starbucks. I couldn't walk. The stress, I started, like tears were in my eyes. I was like so fucking stressed out. So I called Brian
Yeah.
and David. and they talked to me for 2 minutes. And they kept their word. They didn't tell anybody. They're stand-up guys. They talked to me for 2 minutes. When I hung up the phone, I was fine. I was focused. I went into that audition. If it hadn't been for their advice, I wouldn't have gotten on Mad Men.
Yeah.
That's and I can say that now.
Yeah.
So that's where their expertise, their wisdom, their value paid off. More than any job they could give me is their advice. And they knew me because Brian had known me practically my whole career.
Yeah.
So they were able to talk to me in a way, very economically and succinctly, that focused me and gave me the confidence I needed.
I'm actually very glad to hear that story because that's something I do. I call people who, you know, where I'm like stressing out and stuff.
I'm not giving you Brian and David's number.
No.
It's not happening. You're
No.
working me. I know you are,
No.
you prick.
No, but like
No,
it's nice to know that other people do that too because I always thought I was weird.
But the thing is, and especially Matt Weiner was very adamant that we don't tell anybody because that was the market value of the show, that the plot line never got out.
Right.
You know, so I respected that, and it made me focus more. So during the whole run of the season 7, when I for 8 months, I couldn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Except my wife.
Yeah.
And people kept saying, "Hey, you're going to be back on Mad Men," because it looked like I was. But I said, I haven't heard anything.
Yeah.
And this is why I was going down shooting. And then after they did my hair, at the end of the day, I would put water and comb my hair back. Because any of my friends saw me with the hair,
They know.
They would know.
Right.
So it was kind of like being a secret agent. I had this other life,
It's interesting.
but it focused me more.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, so it was. God, Matt, just doing that show was so much fun, and so exciting. And I grew as an actor. The cast, the crew, was the direction was clear. The writing was solid. You know, it's just a great experience.
Yeah.
And it was my favorite show at the time.
Right.
So I told this to John Slater.
It was a #1 show at the time too.
Well, I don't know if it was #1 in ratings, but it was the hottest show,
It was hot.
and especially in the industry.
Yeah.
Industry people liked it. But what helped me get on that show was my appearance on Louis.
Louis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Louis C.K. show.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for the folks at home, you know, like.
The folks at home?
Yeah.
Who's not at home?
No, but that's what I'm
I'm
saying.
at home. You're the only two that aren't at home.
True.
No, but like if you say Louis, people might think Louis Anderson,
Anderson.
Louis, you know. So you got
Confused me.
so like Louis C.K.
Yeah, the Louis show. Now you talk about luck. I'd known Louis for years. He knew who I was. And people could say, "Hey, you should be on Louis. You should talk to Louis." I go, "Relax. If Louis wants me on the show, he'll find his part." And he called me and said, "Hey, I want you to do this part on the show now. I want to let you know I wrote it for this other comedian, but he can't do it."
Mhm.
So that's where luck comes in.
Right.
That's something. So I said, "Yeah, sure." So I read it. I go, "Yeah, I'd love to do it." And that appearance on the show, I played myself. I did stand up and I did a little acting, which was a great showcase because, again, the industry, especially casting directors, producers, writers, watched Louis because it was so different.
Right.
So that helped me enormously. I got more auditions after that. I got more parts. And then after Mad Men, some of the writer-producers on the show said, they asked me about the show, Louis. And
Yeah.
so you could tell. Now, if you go back and watch me on Louis, I'm wearing a cardigan sweater, and I comb my hair a little bit to the side, which I never do.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, in case the Mad Men people see this show,
Oh.
I'm gonna dress up with kind of a flavor of an old school guy.
Right.
Then that's what the cardigan was.
Wow.
So and I'm not saying that's what did it, but
But that's a little icing on the cake. Right?
I guess
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. What are don't you think the odds are so incredible that he called an Allan Havey before he called you?
What do you mean?
Because you said that was a bad joke. Because you said he wrote it for another comedian.
Yeah, he wrote it for another comedian.
Yeah, so he
Wasn't
called
me.
it. Yeah, but he called it.
But the other comedian dropped out, then he called me. That was
Yeah.
an attempt at humor?
I was trying to make
he
a
was
bad
gonna play a
joke.
switcheroo with the name.
Yeah, like there's two
anybody
Allan
can
Haveys.
understand that.
No. Well, there is
There
another
might
Allan
be.
Havey. He's a lawyer in Chicago.
Oh,
Yeah.
What are the odds? He said no, and then he called you.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, that's diagramming a joke. You can maybe sit down with Alan later and
yeah, well, just
kind of
get
work
it
that
board and
out.
marks.
Don't cut this part out
No,
because you're
please,
so
no, this-
vulnerable.
This,
You're so. I'm gonna get a healthy diet soda. You guys want something?
No, I'm
Healthy
good.
diet.
I'm
I'll
good.
take a healthy diet. So.
Really? No, they're $5 a 6-pack.
Oh God, I'm leaving that in.
Well, I love this. I tell you,
Ah.
what is a beautiful home. He's right. If you're a single guy and you see this,
He's not single.
no, if you are a single guy, he said that, and you see this, you're blown away.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, sometimes I gotta. Look at that.
I think you
He's
should take that
he's
baseball bat and
he's
just hit me in the head.
Oh no, I should be standing here when he comes in with the baseball bat. Wouldn't that be
No,
funny?
no, don't do that. What?
That'd be funny. It'd be like I
What
was.
would not be
Like I was a
funny?
criminal. Like I was a criminal.
No.
And that you snuck a criminal
No,
into his
that would
home.
not be funny.
That would be weird, but it would kind of be weird.
No.
So, we were coming with this premise.
Another can, okay?
Oh, beautiful.
Or you can
Cola.
finish the water and then
Sure, look at this.
repurpose the glass.
Yes, it's beautiful.
I got you.
Stevia. Love stevia. Is that
It's
Brazil?
Zevia.
Zevia.
But
Zevia.
it's sweetened with stevia.
Zevia, excuse me, Zevia. You know, when you come from different cultures, your English, it's weird.
Where are you from?
Well, it's a very interesting story, and I can tell it myself. See, my mother is from Havana, Cuba, and my father is from Canton, China, the river city, the pirate city.
Oh, wow.
And they met in New York City, and I was born in New York City, and I'm not even a communist. Get it? I'll tell you something.
Yeah, I got it.
I'm
Okay,
sorry,
I know the
I
history
could be a
in
Fallout star.
China.
Yeah.
Canton.
What year were you born in Havana? Or
No,
New York?
New York. You know, I'm like your dad.
No. How old are you?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't want to say.
He doesn't want
Okay,
to say.
all right. No, I
Yeah.
respect that.
I think he said 94.
No, never mind.
Stop.
See, you're gonna
You know,
blow it
Keith,
all
you
up.
don't give up.
Look,
Oh, this is your
look,
best
look.
friend. This is great.
Yeah, is that wonderful?
Yeah.
Is that wonderful?
What a prick.
It's a secret between you and I.
Wait, what?
Don't whisper in my ear. Go sit down. That's as close as I've been to a man since theater school. And that was an audition. I don't like to talk about it.
We could have just paused it. You could have told him after the show.
Let's move on. This is getting. I'm getting stressed like he is.
Okay.
I'm just going.
Like,
tears.
I'm not stressed.
No, I'm saying
I'm
the
not-
story where you got stressed. I'm starting to get
Yeah.
to the level. See, look, I'm tearing.
Well,
up
that was a
and
huge
everything.
audition. It was my favorite show.
Oh, it is.
I told you, Slattery, John Slattery, I go, I could have been 5 years old and Jackie Gleason could have come up to me and said, how would you like to be on The Honeymooners?
Oh,
I couldn't have been more excited.
wow.
Yeah.
Because my wife and I loved that show.
Yeah.
I was born in '54, so I was kind of Sally's age, the character on the show.
Yeah.
And it just, that show, not only because it was well written and fascinating,
Yeah.
but I remember that era. I wasn't in New York at the time, but I remember that time.
Yeah.
And it really just hit my soul.
Yeah.
So I'm a huge Mad Men fan.
Yeah.
So when you get a fan of a show, and then you get to go on the show.
Wow.
That's
You know.
even better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a beautiful show. I mean, the clothing. You know, I got to ask him a question if I want to.
Yeah.
You know, the clothing.
Yeah, you're the co-host. Pull your chair up so they can hear you.
Yeah.
The clothing is just spectacular from that period. And do you ever get to keep something you like? This is
Not the clothes, but
socks.
a couple of friends,
Yeah.
they had
Sure.
an auction, so they bought me a couple ties I wore
Beautiful.
Oh.
on the show. And I got a tie clasp. And the chair that Alan was sitting in was my chair in the office.
Ah.
Oh.
Nice.
My wife bought that for me when they had the auction.
Ah.
Wow.
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and so when she whipped it up, she goes, "Wow, you must be a big fan of that character." She goes, "Yeah, I am." It was, she didn't say it was her husband, but it was a beautiful gift because my wife loved the show, so
Yeah.
she got a few things. She got Sally's clock.
Wow.
She got Joan's table. I mean, she was just online going, "Okay, I want this and this and this." But that was a great gift.
Yeah.
So I'll always have that.
Don't spill any Diet Zero or whatever
Yeah.
on the chair, man.
Zero is what you drink.
It's sentimental value
There's a
now.
sperm, that's poison you drink.
Uh-huh.
Zero.
I just love this awkwardness between Alan and Alan.
Yeah, but don't let dead air. This is dead air.
No,
Keith,
wait, you're waiting for you to light the
No.
room.
I actually have a very serious question. And the question is this. You've worked with Matt Damon twice.
I have.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry.
Yeah.
Who? Matt Damon?
Matt Damon.
Yeah.
No, because-
Actually, 3 times. We were on Letterman together.
Oh, were we?
Yeah, so Thank God.
Yeah.
Because the first guest, he was the second guest on Letterman. This is back at the beginning of his career, as you can imagine. And the first guest did 2 segments, not funny, not interesting. So Matt goes out there, and the crowd's, and during the interview, he gets some laughs. He wakes the audience up. And he came off and go, I fucking owe you big. You know? And then I went out and had a good set. But he really woke up the crowd. But go ahead. I've worked with Matt Damon.
3 times.
Yes.
3 times. And so, like, you guys, you worked with him 3 times, so you guys are friends, right?
No.
No, not friends.
No, we're friendly.
Oh, friendly.
Yeah, so we're show business friendly.
Yeah.
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
He loves stand-up. But we're not friends.
Oh, okay.
I don't call him on his birthday.
Oh, okay.
Or when he comes out that way, go, hey, if I'm here, let's do something. Yeah, that's a misconception. If you work with somebody, you're immediately friends.
Yeah.
So I would never. I love the guy. He couldn't be nicer, down to earth, and most of what people consider big stars, which Matt Damon is,
Yeah.
are just regular people.
Yeah. You love stand-up, though. Has he ever seen you do stand-up?
I don't probably on
Besides
TV,
Letterman?
but I don't think he was in the room when I was there.
Oh.
But he and Ben Affleck, when they were working on their first movie, the one that
Goodwill.
won the Oscar.
No, Goodwill Hunting.
Goodwill
Hunting. He used to go to the Improv a lot down
Yeah.
in Hollywood and watch comedians.
Oh, so he saw you at the Improv.
He might have. I
Oh.
don't. He never said that.
Oh.
But great actor to work with. I've hung out with him a little bit, at parties and stuff. Just a fun guy, down to earth.
Yeah. Who's the person you've worked with that you like the most that is actually your friend? You know what I mean? Like,
You.
Thank you.
This is it.
Yeah, that was my plan. But we've never worked together. We should change that.
Yeah, I've worked with people, like I say, I'm friendly with them. If I see him, hey, how's it going? But I've never tried to work with anybody I never said to John Hamm, hey,
Yeah.
we're both from St. Louis, which we are, we're Cardinal fans. Let's go to a game or something, I let people kind of be who they are. And if it happens, we become friends.
That's the light. So we wanted to respect your time.
Thank you.
Yeah. So that's like the
so
5
yeah,
minute
I
light.
don't. There's some people I know in the business that are friends, but I wouldn't talk about them.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
yeah.
drop names.
Yeah, you're not.
But it
name
doesn't work
dropper.
like that. Hey, you get in a movie with so and so, and then hey, he's your buddy.
Yeah. I didn't think that would work like that.
No.
But you know what I see you on? I see you on a Better Call Sal. I could see you on that show.
Really?
Yeah. Like,
Okay.
Maybe one of the attorneys.
Yeah.
Firm.
Like, you could
I'd
be-
love to get on that.
Yeah.
I love that show.
That's a great show.
I love Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
I know a comedian that auditioned for Breaking Bad 5 times, and for different parts he couldn't get, and he never got one part.
Allan Havey?
No.
Oh.
That would be hard.
Yeah. You never auditioned for Breaking Bad?
No.
Oh my God.
Well, I was on Mad Men.
Oh, and you probably couldn't, right? Because
Well, I don't know. Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I couldn't. That's the reason. No,
Yeah.
it's just listen. It's hard to get on these shows.
Yeah.
Very difficult.
It's hard to get in the door.
Yeah.
Let alone get a part.
Yeah.
I'm just so thankful I was able to get in the door on Mad Men and The Informant. Brian and David, who knows Steven Soderbergh, said you have to audition Havey. They're big champions of mine. So that Soderbergh told me, these guys really got in my ear about you.
Yeah.
I said, is that how I got the part? He goes, no, your audition was good. But so if you have one friend like that in the business, it's great. I have 2.
Yeah.
Brian Koppelman and David Levine have been like angels.
Yeah. And that's awesome because now I have one with you.
No,
Oh.
we're not friends. See, because we did a podcast. You're a nice guy. I wish you the best of luck.
Oh.
Asperger's thing.
Yeah. But
You
yeah.
start believing this.
Yeah. But like
I know people that have tried to work people. I've watched it happen.
Yeah.
I saw an actor on set to say to the producer, where do you live? I live there. We got to get together for lunch one day. And the producer's like, yeah, right now we're shooting a movie, so
Yeah. One day never happens.
yeah. And I know guys who have really made it as far as they become famous, and then they run into comedians they've known for years and go, yeah, we got to have lunch. Well, we never had lunch when we knew each other. Why would we have lunch now?
Yeah. It's like have your people call my people. We're like,
Don't you know? It's good to see you.
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah, I was just messing around. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
was I.
Oh, all right, awesome. Oh,
Keith,
yeah.
man, you're
Terrible
great.
at this. Well, where can the folks at home find you? On social media, or website?
I'm on Facebook.
Facebook.
If they want to send me a message, allanhavey.com.
Uh-huh.
You can always get a hold of me through that. I was on Twitter for a while. I kind of don't pay attention to that. I have an Instagram account that keeps growing. I haven't done anything. I'm not...
Social media envy.
Well, here's what, and I've been reading about this lately. The cell phone really hurts your health. Because
It does, yeah.
And I don't, geez, I just read the article yesterday.
It emits.
But it does certain things chemically.
Mhm.
With cortisol, it produces cortisol in your brain, which stresses you out, which lowers your immune system. There's a couple other things.
It gives you breasts.
What?
It can give you breasts. Isn't that the...
It can give you breasts?
It goes against the male...
Yeah,
hormone.
I know a guy who's on the cell phone all the time. The tits on him. What are you talking about gives you breasts?
I thought I read that somewhere. It's this chemical that goes against the male hormone as you get older.
Okay.
And-
Well, anyway, it's not good for your health, so if you're on Twitter, if you're on
No,
Instagram,
sure.
you're going to be on that phone a lot more.
Right.
You know, so I kind of keep my cell phone at arm's length,
Yeah.
literally, and then I won't bring it.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at home sometimes.
I'm thinking about deleting all my social media because I'm scared of getting huge breasts.
Look,
You already
look,
have-
Look, you have your good story.
Yeah,
You
I
have
told
big
I
tits.
told you.
Remember, you're a fat guy.
I told you.
You developed them during the tetherball tournament
That's right.
of 1987.
That didn't
you
help.
know.
Yeah, but
No, he's very health conscious. You see, he's got the Zevia.
yeah.
But I
It's not
still
kidding,
eat
right?
unhealthy in a lot of ways. But I try to, because I love Diet Coke, so I buy this
Yeah.
just kind
Oh,
of
smart of me.
offset.
Rat boys.
And my wife she keeps me in line with health. She goes, "You should eat this, and why don't you have more of this?" Here, I made some spinach,
Yeah.
so she's good. She wants to keep me around, which is a good sign.
That's good.
you
Yeah,
know.
very good.
I have one last question for you. And
Thank God.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me take a deep breath and just enjoy this moment.
Okay.
Oh,
So say if you could what is a place where you go out on the road what's a typical A+ Allan Havey meal? Like you can't go wrong.
meal?
Yeah.
A good piece of fish.
Good piece of fish.
A good steak.
Yeah.
You know what I love is falafel.
Oh,
I
what's
really
that?
love a good falafel.
Those are delicious.
Is that
Yeah.
like fish or
It's
something?
a chickpea fried in little balls. They put it in a pita. It's Middle Eastern.
Oh,
Put a little tahini sauce on that.
Delicious.
yeah.
I tell you, when I sit down, I made myself Sunday bacon and eggs with a bagel that I got at the New York Bagel and Deli in Wilshire, the best place to get bagels out here.
Yeah.
Made myself bacon and eggs and a bagel with cream cheese and chives. I sat down. I was in heaven.
Oh, wow.
If it's well made, if it's a sandwich, if it's a 7-course meal. I don't have 7-course meals,
Yeah.
but I just got back from Berlin,
Wow.
and I had one day I had some schnitzel, which is kind of a fried pork, and then there was these cream mushrooms, and then these fried sliced potatoes. Oh my God, it was incredible.
Yeah.
So I don't have one favorite thing. The sandwich, cream cheese, bagel, a sesame bagel, toasted cream cheese, lox, and a thin slice of onion. I'm in fucking heaven.
Awesome. Because I needed to know that so when we go to lunch I could take
Yeah,
it.
because it's usually burger and fries. But you've had a Cuban sandwich, right?
Oh yeah, love a Cuban sandwich.
Oh.
Because I was raised in Miami, so I went to the Did you ever go to Versailles in Miami? They have them out here.
Here, only
Yeah, I just stopped in Versailles last week and had their
Oh,
half
yes.
chicken with no, the one in on La Cienega.
Oh, that one, that
Black
one.
beans and rice,
black beans
fried
and rice,
pork.
yeah, fried pork.
Great stuff.
Wow.
Not the
So I like
healthiest.
Cuban, I like Chinese. The only thing I don't like I'm not a big sushi fan.
No.
No, I don't like sushi either.
Yeah.
They say it's healthy for you, but I find it disgusting.
I've had high-end sushi. It's pretty damn good though.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I gotta
So
pause
on that
this.
note, you're going to.
You gonna say goodbye?
Yeah, we're
That's
gonna
it.
say goodbye, but I just want to
Just
make
want
sure
to
it was
say-
recording because I have a habit of accidentally pressing
Excuse
pause.
me?
Yeah, if you get home and this doesn't fly,
Oh,
That's it.
That's it.
It's over.
I
No, I know.
Dude.
It's my excuse to see people. I'm gonna be like, "Hey, here's your fish sandwich." No, bad joke. All right.
No, not a bad joke.
No,
Just,
just
Terrible.
just an evil thing to say.
insane.
Everything's good.
Well, Alan.
Oh, great. We're wrapping this up.
There you
Yeah,
go.
we are wrapping
There you
this
go.
up.
He said that.
I wanted to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for doing
You're
this.
very welcome.
You're very
And-
welcome.
and
And,
for your-
thanks for asking me. And you've been a gentleman, and I wish you the best with your career.
Awesome. Thank you. So
And
much.
thanks for choosing me.
Yeah, and then next time when we have you on, we'll get lunch.
No,
No.
no, this is it. I've already spilled my guts to you.
What
You want to pick on the bones? Pick
No,
the
I
flesh
just-
off my bones.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
If we ever, by chance, are in the same restaurant, just pick up the tab.
Okay.
Don't come over, just wave, and that'll be it.
Okay. I'll do that. I'll be
He's
like,
very
yeah,
good
yeah.
at And not picking up the tab.
I am pretty
No,
good at that.
you're
I wish you both the
Thank
best
you.
of luck.
Oh,
Thank
Okay.
you.
well, thank you guys so much. And
This was a lot of fun.
this is the end of the show. If you like,
the house.
Yeah, this was a great-
Around Santa Monica.
yeah, if you liked it, subscribe, rate, and review, and all that stuff. And make sure you follow Allan Havey at www.allanhavey.com
Or on Facebook.
or on Facebook. Send him a message.
Allan Havey.
And
You
go
get my
see
schedule.
your stand-up special. Go see him live.
Yeah, I have a CD I sell, but watch Billions.
Billions is on.
Billions,
Yes.
Now we should tell the people this
Great
is May
show.
1st, 2019.
May 1st,
And
2019.
if you haven't, turn that goddamn thing off. And if you haven't
We're
seen
running
Mad
away.
Men,
Mad Men, yeah.
it's out there. So it's like picking up a fantastic novel.
Yeah, and if you find the interview that you did with Tupac, let us know.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, believe me, I just had a guy who was a huge fan of mine that I've kept in touch with, and he taped like practically every show, but he couldn't find it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But if
so-
we find it, let us know so we
you
can
know
let
what?
you know.
It's better to live in people's
Oh,
memories.
all right.
That's
Don't let
It
us
could be
know
a sh-
then.
It could be a shitty interview. So what is this rap thing? You carry a gun?
Well, thanks, Alan. We really appreciate it, buddy.
Thanks, Keith. Good luck.
thank you. Thank you.
You're listening to Reza Riffs with Keith Reza and Alan Lee right here on LA Talk Radio.